Hello everyone, I wanted to make this video on meditation. Some of you are interested in learning and have asked me about it, so I wanted to do sort of a meditation one-on-one session so you can kind of learn the basis and some tips. Why do I talk about this? Basically, I started my journey into the spiritual path when I was 28, thanks to my friends. The indigenous people of the Sierra Nevada in Colombia. They helped me expand my consciousness quite a bit. And I started on the path and learning, and I saw that meditation was a key component that many were talking about in the path to wellness and to spirituality. I started to learn about mind, body, spirit, and how these three are interrelated, and you have to take care of the three of them in order to be balanced, and also about 5 practices that you need to take into consideration when you're talking about well-being. The 5 practices are meditation, exercising, eating well, resting or sleeping properly, and having positive thoughts and emotions. So I'm going to talk about meditation today, which is the topic that I know a little bit more about, although I would encourage you to learn and study about them all, because as I said, you can't have one without the other. If you are talking about well-being and you meditate but you don't eat properly, then one thing is going to affect the other, and you're not going to be able to have a clear mind if you're putting garbage into your body. It's that simple. So you definitely have to work in all the angles in order to get most of the benefit. Let's start by saying that let's start by separating meditation from religion. 2 completely different things. Religion is your own belief system, and meditation is a practice that helps you sort of control the mind. Basically, what it helps you is to calm the fluctuations of the mind. The mind's constantly generating thought. So what we're doing in meditation is relaxing to a point where we find those spaces between the thoughts, and then we find peace. So we're training our minds to not generate thought, because that's going to be impossible. There's always going to be thought as long as you're alive, but to identify the thoughts and not go with every one of them. So when you identify a thought, you're able to just see it from another perspective, from your true self, and let it go. So in a nutshell, that would be the main objective of the practice of meditation or of yoga. Yoga in essence is calming the fluctuations of the mind. Yoga means union as well. It's the union of mind, body, and spirit. So first thing is first, what's the key to meditation? If I can give you one advice is you have to stick to it. You have to schedule a time for the practice, and you have to follow through. I do a lot of comparison between exercise and meditation because I think that meditation is the exercise for the mind. And same as in when you're exercising, by the way, if you don't put aside time as well for exercising, as I mentioned as one of the practices, you do need to do that as well. So you need to prioritize in your life. We need to learn, and we need to, because they don't teach this. We live in a society that has disregarded these items, which are the items that for me are the basis of living. If you're talking about well-being, about being able to really have a successful life, you need to learn about these things and you need to put them in practice. But they have been disregarded. We're not taught this. So I encourage you to learn more about them. So meditation, like exercise, you need to put in the time in order to see the benefit. And you're not going to see the benefit immediately. When you start exercising, it's going to take some time for you to develop that, for your muscles to adapt. for your body to start adapting and to start seeing the benefit. So same with meditation. You need to set and put time aside for your practice. The advice is to do it in as soon as you wake up. So the best times are early morning, so the twilight, and then the end of the day. Best if you do it as soon as you wake up. You know, we tend to wake up, check our phones, do stuff. You're not setting your day right when you start your day off like that. If you start off by sitting into meditation, into stillness, for whatever amount of time that you can put into it, it's going to change your entire day. It's going to set you up for a better day. So again, priorities. What do you want in life? Do you want well-being? Do you want to be more centered, focused, and happy? Or do you want to start off anxious by looking at your emails, by looking at social media, news, etc.? It's completely up to you. So first of all, you set the time. If you're not willing to put the time into it, then don't even bother. You know, it's like if you want to improve your health and have a better body, etc., but you don't go, you don't run, you don't go to the gym, you're not gonna see the results. So first things first. If you want to start a meditation practice, you need to set aside the time. You need to make time for the practice. Whatever time you can put into it. You can start off with 5-10 minutes. Ideally, if you can do 20-30 minutes in each session, it would be great. But start slow. It's like when people start running and they don't know much about it. They just go out and start running and they just go all out. It feels horrible. They don't like it. They quit immediately because they're not used to it. Their bodies are not used to it. But if you start off by pacing yourself, by doing little by little, it's going to gradually grow and you're going to start seeing the benefits. So you sit down first thing in the morning. You have to be sitting down. Your spine has to be straight. You have to work in your posture. That's a must. You cannot be lying down, basically because when you're lying down, and what we're looking here is to find complete relaxation. Your body's already used that when you're laying down, you're gonna fall asleep. That's the main reason. Also, you want the spine to be erect. You want all your energy centers to be aligned and erect. For the men or people that are not that flexible, I recommend a yoga block. You sit down and this elevates your collarbones, and then you're able to sit in a straight posture. You can try different things. You can sit on a chair as well, but always just keep a straight back. And then next thing is find comfort and just be relaxed. You need to have your shoulders relaxed. Everything needs to come into place so that you find stillness. If your body is not feeling relaxed and your body is aching for any reason, you're gonna be focusing your attention on that. If my legs are hurting or they are asleep, immediately my consciousness, my awareness goes into that, and then I lose focus basically, and it's difficult for me to be in a meditative state. So you need to start by really finding a comfortable position and working on your posture. That's really important. So you're setting aside the time, and you also need to set aside a place that where you are not disturbed. Maybe if you have family, you have kids, try to do it before they wake up in a corner of your house where you're not going to be disturbed. So try to find that sort of sacred spot for your tranquility, for your calmness. You're sitting down, you're closing your eyes. You're going to close your eyes because you're going to go within. When you have your eyes open, you're going to be distracted. Your awareness is going to go wherever your line of sight is, and your mind's going to start running with whatever thought. If I start looking here in my room, I can think, I need to change that. I need to do this. So that's why we close our eyes, in order to avoid distraction and be able to focus and enter into stillness. I use an app that I recommend very much. It's called Insight Timer. So you can use that to time your sessions, and it also has a ton of meditations, just recordings that you can listen to, and that's a terrific way to get started. I definitely recommend that you start with that. Many of them have messages that can help you in any kind of thing that you want, from gaining confidence, even to fall asleep. If you need, you can actually use some meditation techniques to fall asleep. But that's a great way to start. If you want, just use Insight Timer or other. There's many others. There's Calm. There's I forgot the other names, but there's a ton now of apps out there that will help you in meditation. So basically, you're sitting down, eyes closed. If you choose to listen to that, to guided meditations, go for it. If not, you can go for a mantra. You can go and get initiated and get your own mantra if you want to do that. I definitely recommend that you explore, go to yoga centers, go to a meditation studio, take a retreat. These are very nourishing and safe places full of loving people that will teach you and guide you in the process. If you're not there yet and you want to start with this, as I said, do guided, or a simple mantra. You can do So Hum. So basically, you're sitting down comfortably, you close your eyes, and you start repeating in your mind without any noise coming out of your mouth. So Hum. And you just repeat that mantra. When we're repeating a mantra, there's different techniques, etc. But the repetition of the mantra is pretty simple. We're using the mantra for its vibration. And the mantra is a vehicle of the mind. It helps our mind to gain focus into one single place so that we can find stillness, which is the main point of our meditation. Our meditation, basically, we're taking our mind from all those thoughts into one single focus, and then with the repetition of the mantra, taking it there until we reach stillness. What is stillness? Is that space in between the thoughts. So I'm thinking, today I need to answer emails, I need to work on this, on that. Then I'm repeating my mantra. I repeat my mantra, repeat my mantra, repeat my mantra, and eventually there's this gap where there's no thought, where there's no repetition, there's nothing. The mind's pretty much blank. That's when you enter that space, that gap between the thoughts. And with some practice, that gap tends to get longer and longer, and that gap is where you find stillness. So you're training your mind to do that, to find stillness. When you're meditating, several things are going to happen. First of all, when we're meditating, basically we're repeating a mantra, or we're listening to a meditation, and then thoughts arise. We something comes up that we remembered, or something like that. Then what we need to train our minds to do is to identify that thought and let it go. Because usually what we do is that when a thought comes, we just jump into it, right into it. I have to do this. Oh yes, I need to go on my computer. I need to write to this person. So I start planning and doing all this thought process. I need to train myself not to do that. I need to train myself to, if a thought comes in, I just observe it and let it go. That's a big part of the practice. And that translated into your daily life is going to be that when you encounter any aspect in your life, you choose to treat it the same way. If someone cuts you off in traffic, you get to choose if you're going to be violent, vulgar about it, or you're going to be calm and you're going to maintain your calmness and your peace. So that's how this translates into life. It's about training your mind not to go into whatever direction it's already programmed to do. It's not to let your mind be told what to do by our desires, but instead using your mind as the tool and and learning to use it really properly so that it benefits you instead of it tormenting you and just filling you up with tons of noise that's really not good. Okay, some other tips for the practice. I just mentioned noise, so I realized that we do have a lot of noise in our daily lives. And the more that you get rid of that noise, the easier it is for you to find peace and stillness. What generates noise for us? News, social media. We're constantly, we're bombarding ourselves with this. We're just consuming all sorts of things to keep our minds busy, and it's gotten to the point where it's a little bit out of hand, and it's just overwhelming for all of us. So we need to set times where we are not connected into those things, where we're not attached to that noise as much. Why? Because you deserve it. You deserve to be at peace. You deserve to be joyful, and those things, whether you like it or not, are robbing you of your peace. So when you're meditating, I said you're gonna have thoughts. Many people quit early on because they say, I can't put my mind into stillness. I have thoughts. I just can't. It's completely normal. Your mind generates thoughts. That's what it does. And it generates thousands. I think it's about 70,000 thoughts per day. It means you're alive. When you're dead, that's not going to happen anymore. So be glad that you're generating thought. Again, the goal is not to eliminate thought. It's just to start to acknowledge it and start to be aware of it, and be aware of the spaces between the thoughts and make them larger. Okay, that's our aim. That's our main goal. So set aside the amount of time that you feel you can, 5-10 minutes. At least if you start your day with 10 minutes of silence and stillness, it's going to create a great benefit in your life. If you combine it with the other practices, it's going to be even more life transforming for you. What other tips can I give you? Just definitely keep doing it. Like with exercise, you cannot expect just to see results when you sit once a week, or this is not something that's used. I ran into a problem, I'm having too much stress, so I'm going to start meditating. It doesn't work like that. What you do is that you build up a practice so that when something stressful comes along, you're better equipped to handle it, not the other way around. Because if you try to start meditating once you're in a stressful situation, your mind's going to be all over the place. You're not going to be able to do it. It's going to be frustrating. So what you need to do is start to build your practice. Even if your life's pretty stressful right now, you have to start somewhere. You start somewhere, wherever you are, with whatever you want to do, whatever project it is. If it's exercising, if it's building your company, if it's creating whatever you want in your life, you start with small steps and you start building up. When you start building up that practice is when you're going to start seeing results. So sit down every day. If you can do it twice a day for at least 10 minutes, ideally 20 to 30 minutes, your spine's erect, you're relaxed, you're calm, you're focused, and you're dedicating this time for yourself. This is a gift that you're giving yourself for your well-being. Then you just close your eyes, you set your timer, you either start listening to the guided meditations and follow their instructions, or you just follow a simple mantra, which is so hum, and you repeat it gently, so hum, in your mind without talking, and just focusing on that, repeating it again and again and again for 10 minutes. That's what you have to do. That's the practice. And eventually your mind is going to start to calm down. And it's pretty good when you feel that stillness, when you feel that peace. Again, you have to tie it to other things. You are able to see it even more profoundly if you go on a retreat, or if you travel if you go into nature, if you go on a weekend to nature and you're disconnected from your phone, from TV, from everything and everyone, and you do this, you start to feel peace, you start to feel stillness, because again, there's so much noise that surrounds us. So it's in order to see that that change between stillness and the daily noise, it's gonna take a while, and it's gonna take, again, if you want to really see it, go on a retreat, or go at least for a weekend into nature, and you're gonna see how that peace enters your mind, and it's the clutter kind of disappears, and you start to be more focused and more clear, and it really brings about a lot of change in your life. Then you start to really listen, you start to see more creativity in your life. Again, as you've seen, I have never talked about religion. This is not a religious practice, but it can definitely help you in your spiritual endeavors. It can deepen your beliefs and practices. It can really connect you to your true self and to your belief system. So that's another great thing that it can help you with. Once you're done with your meditation, do stay still for a minute or two. Personally, what I like to do once I finish my meditation is a little prayer. So I talk to the universal spirit. You can, you do to whomever you believe, or if you don't believe in anything, you don't have to. Again, you can just seek it for the benefit of your own well-being. And then you're done, and then you start your day right. So there's nothing to it, honestly. It's just about sitting down. There are more advanced practices, and there's breathing techniques, and there's several things that you can achieve once you've gone to you've reached certain level of awareness, and when your practice increases. But you don't need to trouble yourself with that for now. It's like when you're exercising, you're good with doing 30 minutes to 1 hour of exercise a day, just to maintain your well-being. If you're curious and interested in doing more, and doing an Ironman or becoming an athlete, that's a different story. Then you can start making other changes and modifying things in your life, so that you can adapt to that and you can learn more. So definitely, if your practice comes to that, let it flow towards there and go with it. But at least for now, just set aside the time, sit down, and do it for yourself. This is a great gift that you can give yourself, and it's gonna improve several aspects of your life tremendously. Keeping in mind that it's not isolated. You have to do other things in order to have everything in balance, because life's about balance. You cannot have one without the other. I really wish you the best in your practice. If you have questions, if you need anything that I can help with, let me know. And I hope to see you in the gap. Namaste.